Hey y'all, so I have a food for thoughts that I want to talk about. It popped into my mind probably about a week ago. I hate when I say about a week ago, but literally it was about a week ago. And I was noticing like some of the things that we go through emotionally, it doesn't matter what subject, but when it comes to emotions, the reason we struggle with separating or allowing things to heal on an emotional scale, or healing inner wounds, or doing shadow work, anything dealing with emotions, I truly believe it has a lot to do with the release of chemicals that we release with certain emotional attachments that we have. And just like, drugs and like substances, that's the same concept as far as like, releasing dopamine, or the lower or serotonin levels being, different, or whatever, like whatever it is. That's the same thing, maybe on a different scale, but it's the same thing that happens when you're in an emotional situation with someone or people. And whether it started from when you were little, I think it has a lot to do with how we process things when we get older. And so sometimes for some people, that emotional thing will be more intensified based on how it was when they were little. If they didn't get it, or if they did get it, that emotional attention, or abandonment issues, there's something that triggers, for some people. And it all stems from when we're young. But there's also this thing with, I want to make this as clear as possible, but there's also an issue with the attachments that you make to people within relationships, whether it's friendships, family, loved ones, romantic, it doesn't matter. Especially after years and years and years, there's something that happens where when you encounter this person, no matter what the issues are or whatever, sometimes it's like you have a certain feeling that is released. Just like when you look at food, for example, you have your favorite meal. No matter where you're at, what you're going through, if you see that plate, for the most part, something in your brain is going to trigger or release something throughout your body that lets you like want to eat it. You understand what I'm saying? And I feel like that also happens with people. I feel like any attachment, and I think that's just a part of the logic of like, okay, we're used to this, let's keep doing this because this is just what works. And I feel like it's important for people, and I'm not a doctor, obviously, like I did take psychology, like college classes, but I'm not a doctor. I'm not a psychiatrist or anything. But spiritually speaking, I do think people have to look at it that way. And it doesn't mean you're supposed to just be okay with like whatever you're going through and trying to, go back to things that are toxic. But I think people have to look at emotional issues just as serious as they look at substance abuse as well. Even when it comes to toxic family members, there's a certain level of making things okay. We do this all the time in our families, like accepting bullshit that is not right in our families, or accepting people who've done bad things to people in our family and saying, oh, that's just them, or we're just not going to talk about it. Like all of that also impacts how you deal with emotional trauma in your adult years and like just later on in life. And I think obviously it's not just a one-step fix, but I think if we can acknowledge that there's something that happens mentally where it prohibits you from being in tune with what's really going on, it's kind of like you just go into autopilot a lot of the time, especially when it's something toxic that you don't necessarily know how to navigate. Once you understand how to navigate it, you see through the bullshit. But I'm saying for those people who can't see through it and they just feel like, I don't know why my heart is so broken and I can't just get over this person, and it's a chemical dependence. I honestly believe that. And I just think spiritually, when we're talking about spirit and we're talking about science and all this stuff, like all of it goes together. And I think it's important that we understand when we're talking about soul ties, a lot of that also deals with mentalities, and it deals with the chemical releasings or whatever we release when we're around certain people as well. And just like we're talking about energies, that also goes into, what our brain also rationalizes within those moments that we experience with others. So just remember that, and just really try to look at it like, if you understand that addiction is bad, imagine if you don't even know you have an addiction, which is what a lot of people are going through. Like, emotionally you're addicted to this, you're emotionally addicted to that, but you don't even see it. So imagine just how deep you're into that shit. So I encourage you to really analyze your emotional connections. Why are you connected to these things? Is it serving you? And if you feel like you need to separate from it, what's stopping you? Ask yourself those three things, and really try to figure out how to find the balance within your dynamics. And that's my only thing that I wanted to say within this video. I really hope that it didn't offend anyone, but I do hope that it sparked something for someone. And if you were offended, a hit dog will holla, okay? A hit dog will holla, so that probably means that this shoe fits. So yeah, that is what I wanted to say for this, not reading, oh my god, for this food for thought. If you want to see more videos like this and other things that are on my mind, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, and then check out my playlist, Food for Thought. And leave a like on this video if you feel what I'm talking about, and I'll see you in the next video.